Hi, I'm Deborah. Thanks so much for joining me today on our first practice of this chair yoga series. Today is for spine health, and this is a great one to start with. We need our spines to be healthy in order for the rest of our body to be healthy. So these practices will be fairly short so they can stand alone, or you can mix and match and put a few together to meet your needs on any given day if you'd like to do that. So today we'll be in the chair the whole time. Some of the other days we'll stand up and use the chair as a prop. Let's go ahead and get started. Take a moment and just bring your awareness down into your feet. We want our feet to be secure against the ground. And then let's feel our hips, and you can even shift around a little bit and just try to settle each sitting bone evenly and equally down against the seat of your chair. We're then going to imagine a puppet string that lifts you up and out through the crown of your head so that you're sitting up a little bit taller than you were just a few moments ago. Let's take a deep breath in. As we exhale, we could close our eyes and just feel some of the tension dissolving from the body. Feel your shoulders drop down away from your ears so that your neck becomes longer. Let's relax the jaw and let the hands just rest gently in the lap. While we again recognize the security of our feet against the earth, our hips against our seat. The next in breath, let's let it last a little longer and move a little further into our body. Let the exhale feel complete, very releasing and cleansing. Let's take another few breaths this way, just really lengthening each end of the breath, trying to let the breath travel further into the body. And then also trying to empty out more air than we had been a few moments ago. Good. Let's blink the eyes back open again. And we're going to use a few more puppet string analogies. So the next string attaches to the bottom of your breastbone. And when we inhale, we're going to pull that string away, but then also up. Okay. We'll let our eye gaze travel up towards the ceiling. Shoulders are down and back. This is our seated cow pose. It's a spinal extension. We'll take another puppet string, this time on the inside of the body at the navel, and we're going to start to pull that one back. And then we'll also draw that one up, kind of up and into the rib cage as we then drop the head down and tuck the chin. This is our seated cat, our spinal flexion. So we're going to go back and forth a few times. On the inhale, let's lift back up to that seated cow, feeling the breastbone pulling up and away, eye gaze lifting, shoulders down and back. And then with the exhale, we draw back into our own body here, drawing the navel up and into the rib cage, dropping the head. We separate the shoulder blades. Inhale, we undulate that spine, moving it forward, waving it forward, growing tall and arching back. And then exhale, flexing forward, drawing back in at the belly. Let's go two more times like that, inhaling. With the exhale, we pull back, letting the breath be our guide. The breath will begin, and then the body will follow and come along for the ride. Deep breath in as you come forward, lift up, arch back. And then exhale, we'll draw back in. We're going to add a little bit on here. So we'll stay in our seated cat. Let's float our arms up to about shoulder height, tips of the fingers pulling far away from your body. And again, just recognize here how your shoulder blades have separated in your upper back. When we come into our cow, that spinal extension, we're going to show the palms here. So spread the fingers wide, lift the heart, lift the head, spread the hands. And then with the exhale, palms down again, fingers away as we pull back into our spinal flexion. Inhale, spread wide here, lift the heart, draw the shoulder blades back, open the throat. Exhale, pull back in. Slide the hands away as if they were on a table, just sliding far away from the body. Let's go two more like this. Inhaling here, wide open through the front body. Exhaling, and we open up the back body. One more of each. We're going to take this one step further, this time with the inhale. Can you lift your arms up, bend the elbows, and pull back here like you're going to lean back over a really big ball? And then with the exhale, we'll let the arms come forward again. And this time we're going to drop them all the way back down to the lap. The hands find the knees. Let's do this variation a few more times. Inhale, just a little bit more expressive here as you arch back. And then exhale as you come forward. Just one more like that. And exhale. Good. Let's sit up tall. We can roll our shoulders a couple of times. See how you're feeling. I don't know about you, but I think I feel a little better already. All right, we're going to take two more puppet strings now. This time, we're going to have one attaching to each tip of your pelvis here, kind of that bony part of your hips right there. We're going to have our imaginary puppet strings. So we're going to lift up on one side. So your hip lifts, and then you drop it back down. And then on the other side, hip lifts, and we drop it back down. So we'll just do that a few times, side to side. And we'll call these our pelvic rocks. So once you get kind of into your own rhythm, you could speed it up a little bit. You could close your eyes. Keep it smooth though, keep it fluid. You might even find a little rhythm with your breathing. So we're just bringing some awareness now, some movement and sensation to our lower spine, to the lumbar spine, to the sacrum, the tailbone. Good, let's rock each way one more time, trying to make it feel good and soothing. Nice. Now we'll come back to center. We're going to imagine now the pelvis like a bowl, like a fish bowl. And we're going to tilt the pelvis forward now as if we wanted the water to fall out of the front of our bowl. And then we'll come back to that neutral position. And now we're going to go back like we want that water to tilt out of the back of the bowl. And then we'll just start to kind of rock the pelvis here forward and back. So we tilt forward and we tilt back. And this is pretty similar to what we just did with our cow and our cat, but we're really kind of isolating our awareness and the movement down in that lower spine. Okay, so we're going to put it all together now. As you come forward, we'll call these pelvic clocks. So imagine that you're coming forward to 12 o'clock, okay? You're then going to shift over to your 3 o'clock, come back to your 6 o'clock, shift over to the 9 o'clock, and then come forward again to the 12 o'clock. And let's go about 2 more times in this direction. Just a little pelvic circle here as you move around the face of a clock. Good. Now we'll pause up at the top, pause at 12 o'clock, and then take it the other way. Go counterclockwise now. We'll just do about 3 circles in this direction. Again, all the while you're connecting with the breath. Good. Finishing up this circle, we come up to 12 o'clock. And then we'll just move back to neutral here and sit up tall. Pause for a moment, see how you're feeling. Okay, so we're now going to work with the upper spine, thoracic and cervical spine a little bit, just kind of bring some awareness there. So let's find a loose interlace of our fingers. And we're going to start just by swinging thumb tips from shoulder to shoulder and see how this feels. So already you're just getting a little bit of movement up around the shoulder girdle. You can stick with this. If it feels okay for you today, you're actually going to take those loose hands and just kind of circle around your entire head. You'll swing over and tap the shoulder, and then you'll go around the other way. So circle the head and tap opposite shoulder. So we'll call these our halos. We're very angelic today. But while you're doing it, just kind of make it your own, the speed and the range of motion that you're working with, and see what's happening around your shoulder blades, your upper rib cage, your collarbone. Check in with how you're breathing. Good. We'll go one more here, and then we'll pause. So we're going to try to put all of that together. Okay. So we're going to get some really big spinal circles now. With our hands still gently interlaced, we're going to pull the hands away. And let's come back into our seated cat. So it's like you're now wrapped around a pole or a tree and you're just rounding your body away from it. Now we're going to start to circle the spine and the arms. So your spine will go one way, your arms will go the other way. And then you kind of meet here in the center with your hands at the heart. This is your spinal extension, your seated cow. And then you continue to go around the other way and you kind of land back in that seated cat. And then we can just start to make it a little more fluid, make it your own. It might take a little bit of brain power, but that's good for us too, to have to really think and connect with our body's movement. You can imagine that you're stirring a really big pot through the upper body, the arms, and then again, you're just kind of circling that spine around as if you were inside of a barrel and you just want to skim your body around that inside rim of the barrel. Okay, let's pause at the seated cat and we'll reverse the direction. Again, a little bit of work for the brain, but that's a good thing. If it feels a little awkward, that's okay. Just kind of go with it, keep working with it, and there's really no right or wrong way to do this. As long as you're moving and grooving and offering some love to the body. All right, good. Now let's turn and flip and press up here. Let's find the feet again. So really kind of anchor down through those feet, press into your heels, and then press up through the heels of your hands. But let's let the shoulders drop and the elbows soften. See if you can balance some effort here right alongside of some ease. And then we'll release. Good. So now we're going to work with bending the spine side to side, lateral flexion. We're first going to imagine that we're just going to reach off the side of our chair and pick something up, put it back on your lap, and we'll take that side to side. We can find a breath rhythm. Inhale and exhale. And just feel how you're bending your spine now, side to side. Good. We'll do each side one more time. Okay, now we're going to reach up. So as if you want to pick something up off of that top cabinet and put it into your lap, and then on the other side. So it's just another variation of lateral flexion, reaching up now instead of reaching down. Breathe with the body. So we inhale, exhale. Good. Each side one more time. Okay, for our final round of this, we're going to put the two together. So on this side, we're picking something up off the floor, and on this side, we're reaching to that top cabinet. And then we'll meet in the middle, and let's bring the hands to the heart. Let's do the other side. Take a nice deep breath in and exhale. Nice. And you can notice how one side of the body gets longer while the other side of the body gets shorter. So one side stretches while the other side contracts. Good. Last one here. And relax. See if you don't feel a little more spacious through your torso, your waist. How are we doing? I feel pretty good. All right, so now we're going to twist spinal rotation. So let's start though with a wide open heart. So we're going to swim the arms back. And if you have a back to your chair and it's available to you, you could take hold of it. If not, just maybe reach back towards the seat of your chair. And we are going to sit up tall. So we're in a long neutral spine, but we're kind of exposed and stretching here right across the collarbone and the front of the shoulders. All right, so we'll take a deep breath in. As we exhale, we'll take one hand across to the opposite knee. We're going to land there and kind of pull against that knee to welcome a nice deep twist through the center of the body. We'll then take an inhale breath to come back to the center. Exhale, let's go the other way. Hold this first one just for an extra moment. And now we'll flow it with the breath. So inhale in the center, exhale to rotate. Good. Nice and long and spacious. And then a nice deep squeeze in your low belly, your low back. If there's any tension there, you can think about just kind of wringing it out, letting it go. Twisting is so good for us. It's good for digestion, for circulation, again, for just kind of loving on the lower back. Good. Let's get each side one more time. Nice. We'll come back to the center here. Hold here. Might even feel good to lean forward just for a moment to kind of deepen that stretch across the front body. Let's take one more breath in. With the exhale, we'll release the stretch. Let's take hands to the knees. Now we're going to lean forward. So you're going to let your torso kind of lay out over your legs. You can keep your hands at your knees. If it feels okay, you can take your hands down to your feet and get a little heavier through your torso, even through your head. This is a seated forward fold. This is a great stretch for the back of the body. Now let's climb back up to the knees. We're going to lift ourselves back up. Take a nice deep inhale breath. Let's fold forward again. This time we'll dive wide. Let the arms spread. Again, lay the chest over the legs. You can reach for the feet or you can keep your hands at your knees. Let's reverse that swan dive, feeling some strength through your back as you lift up. And then exhale, we'll dive in, folding forward. Good. Inhaling here, reaching up. This time, just let your arms relax down by your sides. We're going to move through spinal balance. So we're going to start to move the legs a little bit now, which we haven't done a whole lot today, but we'll give them a little bit of love here. And let's take one leg out. Whichever leg you lifted, you're going to take your opposite arm and reach it out. Okay. And then let's switch sides. So leg lifts, opposite arm reaches. We're going to make this a flow. So you'll inhale to reach arm and leg, exhale to land, other side. Good. Here's another one where I'm asking you just to kind of turn on that brain power. We're working both sides of the brain, both sides of the body, strengthening our relationship between the two. When you lift the leg, you can flex that foot, really drive it far away from your body. When you extend your arm, you can spread your fingers, put some activity there into your hand. And then all the while, we want to sit up as tall as we can. So we're engaging our core, we're breathing, we're balancing the brain. Let's get each side one more time. All right, good job. All right, so now we're going to put together just a little flow. So with our feet anchored, we'll inhale and lift the arms up. We're going to take our swan dive again here. So let's dive back down into our forward fold. When you lift this time, can you pick up one leg and hold here? Okay, active leg. So flexed foot, engaged quadriceps. Here's a suggestion. We're going to take a twist. You can keep your leg lifted if it works. So twist towards your lifted leg. You can let your arms spread wide. Good. Now, as we come back up to the center, we're going to drop the leg down, take a deep inhale, and then we'll exhale, dive back in. Let's do the other side. On the way up, can you lift your other leg? Hold it here for a moment. Feel the activity, feel the engagement. With an exhale breath, we'll twist. With an inhale breath, we'll drop the leg, lift the arms. We're going to flow now. So exhale, we dive in. Inhale, we'll lift up, reaching up and out through your leg, twisting towards that leg as you exhale. Coming back up, drop the leg with the inhale. Dive down the middle with the exhale. Inhale, strong lift. Leg can lift. This is optional. You could always keep your leg down. Good. Come back to center and release. Let's go one more time each way. Good. Inhaling here, leg floats. Exhale, we twist. Inhale, lift, let the leg drop. Exhale, dive. Last time here, big lift. Deep twist. Lift and the leg drops. Last time to fold, we're going to hold this fold. Just really give into it. Relax into it. Find a really deep out breath. From here, we'll climb our way back up slowly. So let's take hands to knees. We're going to push ourselves up. A couple of shoulder circles here. We can check in with our neck. So we'll drop that right ear over to the right shoulder. We'll bring our chin to our chest. Let's take the left ear to the left shoulder and bring the chin back down to the chest. We can lift the head up here, but we're going to get a little more cozy now in our seat, in our chair. So if you have a backrest, you can slide back against it and give into its support. We can rest our hands here in our lap and close our eyes. We're going to take just a few quiet moments here, still moments, at the end of the practice to see how we're feeling. See if you don't feel the energy moving along your spine a little more freely than it was before you began today. Let's feel ourselves here as flexible, mobile, spacious, and strong. I'll take one more deep breath in. Nice cleansing, relaxing breath out. We can let our hands float up to our heart center. Thank you all so much for trusting me to guide you today. I'll look forward to being with you again soon. Namaste.